Hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening? YouTube, good morning, everybody. You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about crypto. We got a couple recent articles about crypto bros no longer being able to ball out. One of these articles is titled Crypto Bros Dump G Wagons and Mclarens Among Digital Asset Bust. We got another article that's titled Miami Nightclubs Are Starting to Miss the Rich Crypto Nerds. There has been a lot of money sucked out of the crypto space in specifically the past couple months, but even the past year and a half. I think back at the beginning of 2021, the crypto market cap was about $3 trillion. Right now it's sitting at 750, 800 billion. So a lot of money has just evaporated out of the crypto space. We had, Luna, we had Voyager, we had Celsius, we had BlockFi. And most recently, we had FTX. What's kind of crazy is Sam Bankman-Fried is not sitting in jail. He's not sitting in prison. He was actually at a New York Times roundtable yesterday with Janet Yellen, Vladimir Zelensky, and I believe it was Netanyahu. And, how crazy is that? Before we kind of get into this story, if you guys are into the crypto space, if you guys were around during the time of Darknet markets like Silk Road, Agora, and Alphabay, I saw a really interesting podcast that I think you guys might enjoy. I've been kind of fascinated by the stories of Ross Ulbright and who is the Canadian guy, Alexander Casey's. I think his story is actually more interesting than Russ Ulbright. But the YouTube channel is called Trendifier. He's got about 334,000 subscribers. And I'll link to it down below. The title of this podcast was One Fatal Mistake Destroyed the Dark Web Overlords. And it's the most detailed account of exactly what happened with Silk Road, as well as, I believe Alexander Casey's was Alphabay. As well as like how they got caught, the mistakes that they made. Just a really fascinating podcast. And the guy who was on the podcast has actually written 3 books about the crypto space, cryptography. One of his books is about WikiLeaks, and Julian Assange. The most recent one is is kind of about how they tracked down Russ Ulbright and Alexander Casey's. I just bought one of the books the other day, but really interesting podcast. I'll link to it down below if you guys were buying weed gummies or something off of the Darknet back in the day, or whether you're just fascinated by these stories. It was a really interesting podcast to listen to. So as far as today's video, what we're kind of talking about, crypto bros are dumping their G Wagons. We're seeing the luxury car market. We're seeing the bottom fall out of that. The luxury watch market, bottom is falling out of that as well. And it's not just crypto bros. I mean, there was the whole Wall Street bets thing. We're coming off a decade of incredible growth in the stock market, incredible growth in tech, a lot of cheap money floating around. So it's not just crypto bros, but I think crypto bros are kind of a smaller, but more dramatic or more extreme example of what you're probably going to wind up seeing happen to the overall economy here as we get into 2023, as layoffs pick up, as interest rates continue going up. It's kind of crazy. Like if you look at yesterday, look at how much the stock market surged yesterday on one man, Jay Powell, saying that they're going to hike rates 0.5% instead of 0.75%. Like, is the economy any better? Is the world any better off than it was 2 days ago? No, but one man says something, and not even something surprising. One man says something that we all already knew from the beginning, and the stock market surges. So you can tell how disconnected the stock market is from the real world, which is something that people have been talking about since the time of the Mexican beer cough, when the S&P 500 was going up 33% a year, even though nothing of value was being produced, nothing was being manufactured, nobody was traveling, everybody was stuck in their homes. But let's hop into this article. Crypto bros dump G Wagons and Mclarens amid a digital asset bust. Readers have been well informed about the slide in wholesale used vehicle prices. A combination of increasing new car and truck supply, soaring interest rates, and economic uncertainty have been drivers of a slowing consumer demand. But let's concentrate on the luxury side of the used car market, where storm clouds gather quickly. And even the regular car market, the people buying Hyundais and Toyota Camrys, we've seen the price of used cars surge in the past couple of years. There's been chip shortages, so they haven't been able to make all the new cars. COVID really messed up supply chains. And, I was just talking to my brother-in-law the other day. He flips a lot of cars. He's got his, he doesn't have a car lot, but he's got a truck repair shop, but he also buys a lot of cars at auctions and flips a lot of cars. And I was asking him, because he's always got a new car every time I see him, although he had been driving the same truck, like a Chevy 2500 for the past couple of years. And I'm like, oh, you still got your truck, man? And he's like, oh, no. He's like, I sold it a while back. I think he'd had the car for 3-4 years, put a ton of miles on it. He uses it as a work truck. And I think he said he wound up getting $1,500 more than he paid for it. So, you got a 3, 4, 5-year-old truck with a bunch of mileage, and he's actually making more money selling that truck than what he made. So we know that, the price of used cars surge. Most people take out a loan from a bank or a credit union or wherever else to buy these cars. And so the banks loaned on these cars at the peak. Now, obviously, banks like a certain ratio between what somebody owes them and what the asset, in this case, a car is worth. So if you crash a car, if you default on your loan and they have to take the car back, if you owe them 20 grand, they want to be able to get, 20 grand or more, or at the very least, they don't want to lose more than 20% on it. But with the inflated prices of used cars that they were loaning out on, and now the used car market is kind of settling down, as people start defaulting on these cars in 2023, as they can't keep up with inflation, can't keep up with these interest rates, they wind up having job losses. These banks are going to wind up having to take back cars that they're only able to collect 30 or 40% of what's owed on. But let's get back into the article. Twitter user car dealership guy pointed out that a 2021 G Wagon with only 3,300 miles just sold at auction for around $187,000. He said the latest auction figures were a 30% plunge from the nearly $300,000 price the luxury SUV commanded earlier this year. And we're looking at his tweet here. The car dealership guy says the exotic car market is getting decimated right now. 2021 Mercedes G-Wagon with 3,378 miles just sold for $187K at auction. That's nearly an $80K or 30% drop in under 12 months. Let's see, he's got another tweet here. Car dealership guy, reminder that the wholesale used cars are only down 13.7% year over year, according to Manheim. So yes, crypto bros are hurting. Oh, and in case you wanted more proof, and he's got a historic average, let's see, past 30 days, $198,000. Past 6 months, $228,000. Last year, $266,000. So you're kind of seeing in real time the average resale value of these luxury cars go down. The New York Post said an uptick in like-new models of sought-after luxury cars has hit resale sites such as AutoTrader in recent weeks. Car dealership guy told the Post the crypto winter has forced some crypto bros to dump luxury vehicles at auctions or list them on online marketplaces. We got a quote here. It says, it's clear that the last couple months, the decline in prices for exotic vehicles has accelerated, and that correlates very, very well with the meltdown in crypto markets, where we know that some of the biggest customers of exotic vehicles were crypto millionaires, he said. And they show a chart here of the Bitcoin crash, which kind of lines up with the fall of crypto prices. Let's see, we got another tweet from a Brianna Wu. Crypto crash is real. Right now at Auto Tempest is exploding with Mclarens, the flashy and extremely unreliable car of crypto bros who couldn't change a tire if their lives depended on it. If crypto bros are offloading vehicles, perhaps it's only a matter of time before they offload other assets such as Rolexes, yachts, mansions, as the winter in the digital asset space could worsen in the coming months ahead. And I don't know if you guys remember this. A couple months back, I did I think 2 videos about the crypto house in LA. I think it was actually in Hollywood. There was a crypto house that was for sale. And we're already starting to see the luxury watch market come down as well. And one thing that kind of shocks me, I see a lot of people on Reddit or 4chan who literally went from broke, went from nothing to having $1 million, $1.5 million, $3 million, $5 million. And it amazes me how many people didn't buy a home, didn't buy any real estate, didn't choose to diversify and take some of that money out and buy gold or silver or, buy a dividend stock. If you make $3 million and you throw $1 million, $1.5 million into a couple dividend stocks, maybe, JEPI or Altria, stock ticker MO, something like that, you could make $50,000 a year off the dividend payments and pretty much set yourself up for life. But so many of these people had all of that money, literally every last penny of their wealth, tied up in Celsius or BlockFi or any number of these platforms, and they just recently got completely wiped out. And that's not even the people who just lost money due to the depreciation of asset prices in the crypto space. NFTs that were worth $500,000 now being worth 10 grand. The price of Bitcoin tanking. A lot of people just had their wealth swiped out from under them by people like Sam Bankman-Fried. We got another article here titled "Miami Nightclubs Are Starting to Miss the Rich Crypto Nerds." In this article, they talk about how a lot of the servers miss the big tips. The people who run these clubs miss the crypto nerds buying out the club, filling bathtubs with champagne. They said people would order 25 bottles of expensive champagne. They wouldn't even drink it. They would just pour it over their heads. And the Miami nightclubs are missing this. So let's see. Among all those suffering from the chaos in crypto, excuse me, we can't forget about the Miami nightclubs. Yes, apparently the South Beach hotspots are starting to miss the young, awkward crypto millionaires and billionaires, according to a new report from FT. The clubs had formerly been inundated with phone calls from cryptocurrency entrepreneurs that nobody had heard of, the report said. Well, those days are gone. When Bitcoin was at $60,000, however, there seemed to be an endless supply of crypto geniuses who were eager to reserve lots of tables or rent an entire venue for an evening at a cost of $500,000 or more, the report says. Andrea Vimersati, director of food and beverage at the Moxie Hotel Group, told the Financial Times, out of the blue, all these kids from crypto started coming down and spending a lot of money, like an insane amount of money. You got to keep in mind, this is Miami. They're used to athletes and rappers and celebrities buying out clubs. But I imagine in some ways, crypto bros were maybe throwing money around and spending even more just because they're young, they're impulsive, they came upon a lot of money quickly, and they're just balling out. They were booking tables for $50,000, and it was like, who the hell are these people? He continued, stating they were 95% young men with a kind of nerdy style. You could tell they had a lot of money if they were just walking around. He continued talking about the excess, which has now been washed out to sea. They wanted to show they didn't have any limits. They were ordering 12 or 24 bottles of the most expensive champagne and showering themselves in it without even drinking. One group who claimed to have sold their crypto company even paid more than $1 million tab at a 50-cent show in crypto. Gino Lapinto, operating partner at the club, recalled his club transacted more than $6 million in crypto in the last year, he said. They had bathtubs full of champagne brought out and gave 50 Cent a bunch of cash to throw, she said. You wouldn't normally show your bank account, but people do show their crypto wallets. And I've seen more crypto wallets in a year than I've seen bank accounts in a lifetime. Now the crypto club goers have completely disappeared, Vimersati says. Lapinto noted that his club has only processed $10,000 in crypto transactions in the last month. Ellen Ross, owner of Rosa Sky Rooftop Lounge, added, on the bigger crypto weekends, the groups coming in for private buyouts were these young tech guys. A buyout cost anywhere from 20% to 50% more than we would make on a normal night. Brett Harris, executive director of luxury sales at the real estate firm Douglas Elliman, characterized the boom as it was revenge of the nerds. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long. We're going to wrap this this story up here. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop a comment down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below and ring the bell, and I will catch you guys on the next video.